Okay, hi, how are you everybody? This is Mr. Gabriel. I'm going to present something today that is concerning couples. And I'm a counseling psychologist and I have a passion in this work. So welcome on board as we continue. I have observed something that is of concern in the current society, that couples and to some extent families are facing some challenges concerning their relationships. One thing is that when we see a family, it is good for us to remember that the foundation of our family is the couple relationship. The man and the woman need to have sound relationship so that they can create a future for the family. And so we are going to share about some values that are necessary to keep couples together, and for that matter keep families together. The first one is avocado, and I've used the symbol of avocado to illustrate love. Avocado, when it is lit, it gives light, and whatever was in the darkness comes to light. So love, as it is an ingredient and a value that can keep family relationships running, especially for couples. Your husband and your wife, the husband and the wife rather, they need to exist in love. And love is not just in words. When you imagine of love, it's about demonstrating it. Imagine it is in the middle of the night and your wife develops a persistent cough, sneezing and feeling so irritated. Do you turn the other side of towards the wall and assume that the cold will just disappear? What do you do as a show of love? Being a good husband, I guess, you'll wake up and then give her some hot water, or even try to soothe her and speak nice words to her. That way you have demonstrated love. And love doesn't need to be in expensive things, you have to do great things. In once. Imagine your wife calling you during the day. You left each other in the morning and you went to work, and then it is daytime. She calls you and says, Baba so and so or Mr. so and so, how are you? Responding in a way that is soft and straightforward, in a lively manner, gives encouragement to your wife or to your husband. And she will have encouragement and strength to continue in the rest of the day. So love is an important virtue. And I would like to demonstrate this. Love is like this candle. Think of it that you need to light. You need to light the candle. This candle demonstrates continuity in the life of our couple relationship. Between the husband and the wife, you have to keep the candle lighting. You have to keep the love warm. In the morning, before you leave each other to go for your different work, you light it. How do you light it? By kind words. You speak kindness. You speak concern. And also demonstrate it. Supposing the husband says, my dear, where are the socks? You have to show where they are. When it comes to the wife, she may ask the husband, my dear, what are you planning tonight? The way you respond will be a demonstration of love. And such simple actions like those means a lot. Have you thought of why you married that woman? Have you thought of why you got married to that man? It is time we realize as husbands and wives that the way you see that lady today is more than you can see her. There is more in her than the eyes can see. There is potential. She is like a virgin lad which has not been cultivated. She is the mother of your children. Even if she has not given back yet, even if she has not achieved so many things yet, even if your husband today is doing some casual job, or you began your relationship in a humble manner, in a manner that, is so humble, you don't have much money, you are living in a rented house, there is more in the future of that woman than you can see. There is more in the future for that man than you can see. And that lady you have married, that man who has married you, is potential. She is full of assets, and you are the one to exploit it. I guess many of us have seen a seed. You know a seed? A seed. Allow me to show us a seed. You can see in my hands. These are seeds. These are seeds, and in particular they are bean seeds. This bean seed has a potential in it. When the farmer buries it on the ground and the rain comes, what comes out of the seed is a different thing altogether. It is something transformed, a plant. And the plant has a potential and all that. So that is the way we should look at that woman. That is the way we should look at that girl. And especially this is important for people who are just getting married. When you look at that girl, name her, name that gentleman, what do you see in her? Do you see the future? Do you see a future in her or him? Further illustration. You can see this plant. This is a seedling of an avocado tree. And the seed looks like this. This is the seed, this is the seedling. The duration between the seed and the seedling is what we can call patience and investment. Before this seed becomes a seedling, there is a space for patience, a space for nurturing, a space for taking care and all that. And to take this a little bit further, this seedling you see here has a potential to become a big tree. A big tree with branches. Later, with time, it will have flowers and it will have fruits. I wish to encourage you, young man, who is planning to get married. I wish to encourage you, young lady, who has a vision to raise up a family. Remember that you are a seed, and when two of you meet, this is so and so. That time you have no child, you don't have investments, you don't have many things, not yet, you have not stayed long in the marriage. But remember, love should not be based on visuals, on the sensual issues, what you can see. Sometimes we have been made really to wonder, what is it in the shape of the body, or the color of the skin? Are you aware that these attributes fade with time? They fade after some years. The shape might fade away. The skin color might fade away. Not even might. Yes. If you had a full set of teeth, with the age, you lose the teeth, not because of your wish, but because of age, and that's the characteristic of every living human being. Therefore, let us not base our love, let's not base our relationship on what is visible. We would rather base it on the future that it transcends or goes beyond what the eye can see. And therefore, when we keep in mind like that, we are like to see it, we can go very far. Realize there is something we call kindness. You are there with your wife and your husband. As a couple, are you kind to each other? And the kindness, it is a behavior of generosity, a behavior of giving something good to somebody without expecting something in return. How many times have you surprised your wife with a gift that she didn't expect? How many times have you surprised your husband with a gift she didn't expect? You know, many times we wait until, the husband says, oh, this should be done, this should be done. We are the eyes of each other. Let not your husband suffer need when you can see it, when you have the ability to fulfill it, and especially us who are living this end of the world, especially Kenya, East Africa countries, and Africa at large. Ladies have this idea that it is the man who should do. They have this idea that the one who should come with food, will provide housing, provide all that. Well, it is good. But now times are changing, my dear brothers. If you're a lady who is married to a gentleman who is not earning as much, as less in terms of finances, when you are married, the family does not belong just to one person. It is good to subsidize from your income so that you cover the shame. You don't expose yourselves. Somebody can say, this man does not earn much and all that. So, kindness is necessary, and especially when somebody is in difficult times. Such times include when somebody is sick, or when somebody is going through challenges like financial problems, retrenchment where jobs have been stopped, or some other problems. You have to show kindness. You do some things, some nice things that are necessary to really remind your husband and wife that we are still together. Everything is possible despite the problems. Well, when in marriage, I wish to say that whatever you do as a man or as the wife or the husband, do it to please God. The service you offer to your family is service to God. Why? When you love God, who is invisible, God whom you have not seen with our own eyes, you only believe that God is alive and He is there. You can as well love your husband, and you can also love your wife the same way. And therefore, this will cushion us. Appreciated for the good we do. The wife may do much to the husband. Service every time, washing clothes, taking care of the children, and maybe the husband doesn't show much appreciation. But for the sake of continuity, there is need to trust in God and continue doing good without giving up ever. Therefore, it is an important truth to notice also so that we keep our marriages and our relationship warm. My dear listeners, it is necessary that even as you live in marriage, cultivate your own happiness. Yes, we are a couple and we are together, but do you have your own personal life where that you can be happy, even when things are not okay? If you have been waiting every time, it is my husband who makes me happy, it is because he tells me nice words, because he does shopping and all those good things. It is not all the time that the husband is able to do those things. And you gentlemen, Baba so and so, the father of so and so, why do you love this lady? Is it because she is happy? Is it because she does everything for you? You have to cultivate your own happiness such that even when your spouse is down, you can have that extra energy to encourage them. And therefore, this idea of saying, he's not talking to me, therefore I also not talk to him. You never know what he is going through. You have to mobilize yourself through reading books, through prayers, by encouraging yourself so that you can have extra energy to encourage your spouse as well. And when we do these things, we will be in a position also to care for our children well and also even to be better members of the society. Whatever we do, my brothers, my dear family colleague, we are in the family one way or another. Whatever you do, it is good to do with a meaning. You perform something with a meaning. Supposing today, I speak some words that are not so good to my wife. She may keep it such that in the future she will remember that, yes, there are some words that my husband told me when we were somewhere, and that becomes a bad deposit which she can be remembering. What about when we have children? If your husband calls you, so and so, where are you? Come. And then you frown your face and say, why is he calling? Your little boy, your little daughter will hear those things, and then they may take that is the way this should be done. Therefore, we are encouraging that whatever we do, it should have a meaning for tomorrow. It should have a meaning for future. It should have a meaning for the days to come. So that even during the able days, when you used to rent the house, you never had your own house. When you used to earn very little money, you never had sufficient income. Your wife or your husband can well remember and say, during those days, when my husband used to earn just a little money, he was still trustworthy. When my husband used to work or to walk to work, you never had a car that time, you can remember that your husband still used to be faithful. And at times, our words again are like seeds. Our words are like seeds. Today, you say something, that becomes a seed. You have sown a seed. After 2 years, you say something else. It becomes a seed. After the 5th anniversary of your marriage, you behave in another manner. Those are all sins. And then, when you are being blessed with the children, the blessings of children, there's a way you behave. You also have more sins. Let's take it positive. Assume this is a seed of generosity. This is a seed of love. This is a seed of kindness. This is a seed of appreciation. And this is a seed. This becomes a seed of another virtue. All these put together become nourishment. They are like nourishment to the family. Your dear wife will be looking back and say, in this year and this year, my wife was so caring. My husband was so caring. He used to appreciate me. He loved me. He showed me unconditional love even when I was sick. And when I was expectant, my legs were swollen, I would not walk very fast. I needed special diet. He was caring. That is the seed. You also remember that when the mother-in-law, that is the mother to the lady, was unwell, your husband was so kind to them, and he would frequently visit them. That is another seed. She will realize that this gentleman does not just love me because of any other reason, but because he values me as a wife. So all these seeds are foundations for a good marriage. And this is where you see a couple is celebrating even 30-year anniversary, 15 years anniversary. They have established a business which is doing very well, and they are doing it as partners. Why? When the wife and the husband look back, they do not have any faults. They don't see any cracks, because it is love, it is generosity, it is kindness, it is concern, it is appreciation, good seeds. And by the way, good seeds stands also for the way you treat children. The first day when you get your firstborn, the way you care for the firstborn, and the way as a mother should care for the firstborn, or as a father you should responsibility when you get the firstborn, will determine whether your wife will warm up to want to get a secondborn and thirdborn and so forth. So when we are responsible currently, whatever stage of relationship you are in, it gives strength for the individual, for the wife or the husband to continue trusting you even more. And therefore, when we think of these things, you can see, I haven't mentioned the issue of money here. Money I haven't mentioned. I've not mentioned the wallet. I've not talked about money. I have talked about things that are possible without money. Love is inherent in a human being. We are born with capacity to love. So, and it is such a beautiful ingredient that doesn't cost any money. You see, when you develop a mindset of seeing the potential in your husband and your wife, no money. Look at all those points that we have shared. There are many Kenyans today, young women and young men, who are saying they can't be married. Why? When they look to the right and left, the gentleman they see doesn't own a plot. The lady they see, the father is not very rich. And so they think, oh, I can't marry that one. Doesn't drive, doesn't live in a good apartment. No, these are not the attributes to really consider, because after all, they are important, all right, but they don't last. So let us base our love and relationship on values and virtues that do not perish. They live beyond what a human being can do. Therefore, with that, ladies and gentlemen, my presentation is not really the final, it's not perfect. But I've just, given an idea that you can add to what you already know, and also you can consult other sources on how best to keep your relationship warm. This is just a contribution, a little bit of it, because we are aware that there are many subjects concerning families. If you consider these ones, go and try them. Just try. Give it a try. If last week you didn't have, good breakthrough with your husband or wife or something like that, go and try love. Try these ones. And with the patience and with the help of God, you are going to make it. Thank you very much. See you next time.